नमस्कार, फिर पैसा बोलता है में फिर से आपका स्वागत है। मैं आनंद श्रीनिवासन। आज शनिवार है और आज और रविवार हम हॉट टेक्स करेंगे। इस हफ्ते के न्यूज़ इकोनॉमिक टाइम्स में जो आया इसके बारे में मेरे भाई पूछेंगे, उसमें 4-5 सवाल पूछेंगे, इसका जवाब मैं दूंगा। जवाब अंग्रेजी में होगा। अगर बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग सवाल है तो मैं थोड़ा हिंदी में अनुवाद करूंगा। तो हम करेंगे हॉट टेक्स।
Of course, Anand. Our honorable court has ruled that there is no requirement other than the SEBI-backed inquiry into the Adani. It said any other form of investigation currently is not required. What do you feel about the honorable court's view?
See, the honorable court has, first of all, there was rumors that he has given him a clean chit. The court has not given a clean chit to Adani. What is now happening is SEBI is perpetually asking for time. And others have said that since SEBI is asking perpetually for time, that the Pope should be handed over to a special investigation team. The Supreme Court has said that this, SEBI should be given more time. And there is no need for a special investigation team. In the same Supreme Court, 10 years back, when a similar case came up against Sahara, and SEBI kept on asking for time. Justice Kerr and somebody, I forget the other justice, tore into SEBI and instituted an inquiry which unearthed a big fraud of 25,000 crores. So the same Supreme Court gave a different ruling 10 years back in Sahara. Recently, Subroto Roy passed away. 25,000 crores of unclaimed money is lying in Securities and Exchange Board of India. In this case, the Supreme Court has backed the regulator, which is SEBI, to point out that every judgment the SEBI has made, the Security Appellate Tribunal, which is the appellate board for the SEBI, has overturned. That in the recent memory, there are very few judgments given by SEBI which have been upheld by the Security Appellate Tribunal. Then such is the case that the Supreme Court is giving an inordinate amount of time to SEBI, where the papers are very clean and been put out by paper, is surprising. In Shakespeare once said, Caesar's wife should be above suspicion. So here the regulator is SEBI, and SEBI's actions should be above suspicion. Why is it asking for so much time? Is something for SEBI to organize. And justice should not only be done, but justice should be seen to be done. So will the court give somebody else so much leniency and time? So the court has been very gentle on SEBI and a gentle slap on the wrist instead of acting. So let's see 3 months down the line what happens when SEBI doesn't do anything and then it lasts for another 3 months' time. Let us see what happens.
Fair enough. It seems to be a very valid point what you have said, especially when you compare it to the track record and the history of rulings of the past. We should at least be aligned to previous rulings at least.
The Supreme Court is the final authority.
Yes.
There is no God.
Yes.
So since it's the final authority, we have to accept it.
Yes.
And there have been instances in the past where Supreme Court itself has reversed its decisions.
Yes. But we do agree with the Supreme Court. Now, what do you think about this, Anand? We spoke about this company called VinFast. Remember in America?
Yes.
They're now talking about opening a plant in Toothukudi. This is a separate project. They have not given any details. They said in appropriate time they will give the details. They plan to
So I do not know what is happening, but there is a lot of production-linked incentives where factories are being set up all over the country. So, but the production-linked incentives have never been claimed, except for some Apple phones. Nothing of serious thing has been manufactured. So let's wait for the plant to be set up. Let's wait for the EV batteries to roll out. Let's wait for clients to buy it, and then we will talk about it.
Bondholders okay Vedanta's debt reject. More than 97% of the bondholders of
They don't do. They have a choice.
Yes, that's what I was
Vedanta Vedanta is in serious trouble. There is a lot of cash flow issues. It is earning in rupees and spending in dollars.
Correct.
Commodity prices are very benign. In fact, Biden is releasing so much shale oil in the market that no crisis seems to be pushing the oil price up. Because the more oil that is being taken off by Middle East, shale oil from America is compensating the market.
Correct.
Vedanta is primarily a company that works on raw commodities. And since commodity prices are very low, and interest rates are very high, they are suffering. Most of the acquisition of Vedanta is funded by debt. These debts are issued in US dollars. and British pounds. So any depreciation in the rupee increases the capital also. So there is very little chance of it being recovered. But over given time, he will be able to sell assets. The only way this can be done is if assets are sold and
The only way to raise capital. Yes.
and the bonds are paid. So shareholder equity is in serious trouble.
Yes.
So if at all Vedanta has to survive, it has to survive as a smaller company, and bondholders have to be paid off.
But a lot of viewers are asking, what is your view on Hindalco, which is owned by Vedanta, right?
No, Hindalco is not owned by Vedanta. Hindalco is part of Aditya Birla Group, which is cash rich, which is not a problem.
Okay. Which one was part of Vedanta then?
Which is Vedanta is the Trichy copper, the Tuticorin copper smelter plant.
Sorry, yes.
And that's where the problem is. If his copper smelter plant is allowed to perform, he would have been able to service the loans. The copper smelter plant has been shut down for more than 2.5 years. So in Tuticorin. So because of shooting...
That's another issue. Yes, those are other issues. We don't need to get
issues
into. Yes, some issues.
Which the court is not, as usual, the court has not made up its mind. So there's giving date after date. So he tried selling that plant, even that is not working. So that plant is a perpetual cash flow generator. He would have generated at least $2 to $3 billion of cash flow in that. And that would have paid the interest and the loans, some of the loans. He would have been able to roll over in a more comfortable manner. The death blow is, of course, the closure of the Tuticorin copper plant.
Okay. Manufacturing activity falls to 18-month low of 54.9% in December.
And I'm again and again I've been telling for a long time that the Indian economy is not growing at the pace which the government is claiming. Similarly, because nominal GDP minus inflation or deflator is real GDP. You cannot have 5 to 6% of CPI and deflator at 2%. So, like Arvind Subramaniam and Josh Fulman wrote, it doesn't pass the smell test. So this manufacturing activity dropping to an 18-month low is a clear indication that there is a problem. All items of mass consumption, whether it's FMCG, cosmetics, personal care products, home electronics, the festival season was not good and the sales was below normal. And this is what the manufacturing index is trying to tell you. Yeah. And also what has happened is there was a lot of celebration yesterday that 4 million cars were sold in India. The point remains the 4 million cars were sold because SUVs did very well. They did more than 2 million.
Yes.
The entry-level cars did badly, which means there's also news which is there in the newspaper. 4 companies have made record sales. That is Tata Motors, Hyundai, Mahindra, and Toyota.
Yeah.
All these companies are basically kings of SUV.
Yes.
And Maruti also, to catch up, did some SUV in the end.
Yes.
But Maruti has not done an all-time high.
No.
Whereas these 3 companies have reached an all-time high. Which means that Maruti is losing market share to these companies.
Very true.
Yeah.
IT rules likely to amend for AI regulation. What do you think about the IT?
आपने इस पॉडकास्ट को सुना, इसके लिए मैं आपका आभारी हूँ। तो आप अगर इस वीडियो को पसंद किए तो इस वीडियो को लाइक कीजिए, चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कीजिए और बेल नोटिफिकेशन दबाएं। अगर आपने बेल नोटिफिकेशन नहीं दबाया तो आपको नोटिफिकेशन नहीं आएगा जब हम हर वीडियो अपलोड करेंगे। हो सके तो इस वीडियो को अपने दोस्त और रिश्तेदार के पास भेजें और उनको देखने की आग्रह करें। नमस्कार, धन्यवाद, जय हिंद।